feel like I might unload today. I am so tired of Stephen A. Smith and his overbearing wokeness. I'm tired of it. Scratch that. I'm tired of his inauthentic wokeness. Stephen A. Smith is a pawn. He is being used. We're going to get to that in just a second, but I'm just warning you guys. Today is one of those days where I'm going to be heated at certain points, or I could be. I actually had every intention of coming on here today and talking about the Lakers-Suns series. I had all the research done. Hell, I had most of the show completed. I was ready to record. I was fully ready to go ahead and pat myself on the back for being right when I told you guys months ago that the Lakers were in trouble. But in this arena that I'm in, you have got to be ready to change at the drop of a dime. You have to be fluid. You got to be able to adjust. That is exactly what I had to do today, because when I was leaving my house, heading out to lunch, I came across something that I just couldn't ignore. YouTube is my primary source of entertainment when I'm driving. I find something that I want to listen to during my commute, and I go with it. I came across something yesterday during lunch that piqued my interest. Until recently, I was never really a big fan of Jason Whitlock. For the same reason that I used to not like Clay Travis. I always thought both of those guys said things for the sake of being controversial, which is fine. I mean, nothing against them. Get the ratings however you can. It just wasn't my thing. I didn't like listening to them. But over the last year or so, Jason Whitlock has grown on me. The media presents us with so many African American talking heads that are being used to push a social justice agenda. So when I found Jason Whitlock wasn't one of those, and not only was he not one of them, but he actually has the courage to speak out against the woke agenda, then my stance on him instantly changed. Just like with Clay Travis, Jason Whitlock has grown on me. I respect this dude. I don't know the details surrounding his departure from Fox Sports, but from what I can tell, he didn't want to be a part of the woke agenda in the sports media, the mainstream sports media. Now, maybe Fox didn't want him back. I don't know. But ever since Jason Whitlock has left the mainstream sports media, he has been one of my favorite voices against the wokers. Besides myself, of course, Now, Jason Whitlock was on his YouTube channel this week, and he is letting Stephen A. Smith have it. If you have been following me a while, then you already know. Stephen A. Smith is one of my favorite targets when it comes to the wokers. Years ago, I liked Stephen A. Smith, but over time, I have lost all respect for him as he's gone more woke. According to Jason Whitlock, Stephen A. is just the face. He's just the talking head, a tool used by his white bosses to promote their agenda. That's it. Jason Whitlock actually says that back when Stephen A. Smith was a journalist, and I use that term loosely when describing him, Jason Whitlock claims Stephen A. didn't write his own stories, that his white editors wrote his reports for him. Now, that's a pretty heavy accusation. I don't know if that's true or not, but I will tell you this. I am way more inclined to believe Jason Whitlock than I am Stephen A. Smith. Now, Jason Whitlock, he also called Stephen A. uninformed, which is an accusation that I can 100% get behind. Stephen A. Smith is not only uninformed, he's a blithering idiot. Jason Whitlock went on to outline several times over the years that Stephen A. has looked like a complete fool on national television by being uninformed. One instance occurred back in 2005. Stephen A. was on ESPN talking about the NFL. And he says that Marty Schottenheimer should have kicked a field goal on third down instead of fourth down. That way, if they missed the field goal on third down, they could go ahead and try again on fourth down. Clearly in 2005, Stephen A. Smith did not understand the rules of the NFL. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he has learned a thing or two in the last 16 years. That is not the case. Just 2 or 3 years ago, the Chiefs play in the Chargers, Monday Night Football. Stephen A goes on First Take, and he says that he's really looking forward to this game because of the matchup between Hunter Henry and Derek Johnson. Real insider take coming from Stephen A. Smith on the NFL. He said Hunter Henry was having a great season. Problem was, Hunter Henry had missed the entire season due to injury, and Derek Johnson was cut. Neither player that Stephen A. mentioned, the guys that he was looking forward to watching, neither one of those players was going to be involved in the game. Now, once Max Kellerman pointed that out on the air, yes, believe it or not, Max Kellerman actually knows more about the NFL than Stephen A. Smith. But once Max Kellerman pointed that out, Stephen A. immediately starts backpedaling. Oh, I'm also looking forward to Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill. He starts trying to cover for his gaffe, instead of just admitting that he doesn't know dick about the NFL. Jason Whitlock reveals that he hasn't spoken to Stephen A. Smith in years because Stephen A. refuses to talk to him. Back in 2012, Whitlock called Stephen A. out for repeatedly using the N-word on ESPN. Stephen A. got pissed off about it and has refused to talk to Jason Whitlock ever since. Which, when you think about it, is typical woke hypocrisy. Stephen A. has no issue going after Kwame Brown, even after he said publicly that he was going to leave the Kwame Brown situation alone. He's going to rise above it. Then 2 days later, he goes on his ESPN Plus show that nobody watches and proceeds to attack Kwame Brown. Stephen A. Smith has made a living of calling people out for various reasons. But when he gets called out, he gets in his feelings about it. But Stephen A. has no problem calling others out when it comes to white privilege. White privilege. I'm not going to deny that white privilege exists. I'm sure there are cases where white privilege was the cause for someone getting a job over somebody else or something like that. I'm sure it exists. But white privilege doesn't exist when it comes to the situations that Stephen A. Smith refers to. Remember when he claimed that Steve Nash was only given the job with the Brooklyn Nets because he was white? Stephen A. said that black men never get opportunities like Steve Nash. This is a disgrace to the NBA. I'm pretty sure that Derek Fisher didn't have head coaching experience when he got his first head coaching job. I'm pretty sure Jason Kidd didn't either. And the last time I checked, both of those men were black. You know what they have in common with Steve Nash? They were both high basketball IQ point guards who had long, successful careers in the NBA. The hiring of Steve Nash was a basketball decision. It had nothing to do with his race. Just last month, Stephen A. said that the reason Tim Tebow was being given an opportunity in Jacksonville was because of white privilege, because he was white. Never mind the fact that Urban Meyer is the head coach. According to Stephen A., Tebow gets this opportunity because of his skin tone. And then, just yesterday, this fool goes on ESPN again and plays the white privilege card. Danny Ainge stepped down in Boston, and Brad Stevens, he was promoted to take his position. According to Stephen A., it's because of white privilege. He says opportunities are dwindling for black men in the NBA when it comes to coaching and management positions. Do we really want to go there, Stephen A.? Do we really want to go there? Once again, like Jason Whitlock said, you are uninformed. I did my research. I found an article from USA Today from March 2021, just 2 or 3 months ago. And I found the following information about the NBA. Now remember, African Americans make up 13% of the American population. It is important to remember that number, 13%. In the NBA, there are 10 black general managers, or 33% of the league. There are 7 black head coaches, 23% of the league. And of the 185 assistant coaching positions, 85 are held by African Americans, 46% of the league. 13% of the population. Yet on average, black people hold 34% of those positions that I mentioned. I don't know about you, but that seems pretty damn fair to me. But if we want to look at it from Stephen A's purview, African Americans also make up 72% of the NBA. So maybe the NBA has a problem not letting white people get fair treatment and fair opportunities, if we want to look at it like Stephen A. Smith does. It seems pretty fair to me. I don't know. But see, you won't hear these numbers from Stephen A. Smith because it doesn't fit his woke agenda. I guess I shouldn't say his woke agenda. Stephen A. Smith is being told what to say. He is essentially a robot at this point. It doesn't fit ESPN's woke agenda. Stephen A. claimed that Brad Stevens doesn't deserve this opportunity because the Celtics were bounced in the first round of the playoffs. And black coaches, they don't get that same treatment when they fail in the NBA. Once again, Stephen A's wrong. I'm pretty sure Doc Rivers failed miserably last year with the Clippers. And he stepped into one of the best head coaching jobs in the NBA with the 76ers. After LeBron left Cleveland, Ty Lue fell with the Cavs, and he was given the Clippers job. Stephen A. then got real animated on First Take yesterday, and he started yelling at NBA players across the league for not standing up for black coaches. Now, I don't know where he's getting this from, considering the fact that NBA players have spent the last 18 months standing up for black people, but I digress. Stephen A. gets so mad that he storms off the set of First Take. Now, this is classic woke behavior from Stephen A. Smith. It's all a show. It's all a performance. He gets himself all riled up over a myth in his own mind, and then he storms off the set like a petulant child. I have never seen an angrier, more miserable millionaire than Stephen A. Smith. This dude makes $8 million a year. He literally sold his soul to the wokers. And maybe it's bothering him. Maybe it is bothering him. Maybe it's eating him up inside. I don't know. But he is nothing but a parrot for his white bosses. I can't figure out why he's so angry. I would be angry too if I was told what to say every morning. If I had someone in my ear every day commanding me to be woke. I would be pissed off too. But this is Stephen A's fault. He decided to be woke, or pretend to be woke, whatever the case may be. He decided to sell out. You sold your soul and your values for money. The saying that money can't buy happiness, that is true. That's true. Money can make life easier, but it won't make life happier. All money does is magnify who you really are. That outburst on ESPN yesterday morning from Stephen A. Smith, I would be embarrassed if I were him. This dude is constantly proven wrong. Yet he continues to go on the air every day and continue proving to the world that he is a blithering idiot. All right, what do you guys think of Stephen A. calling Brad Stevens' promotion in Boston white privilege? Also, let me know what you think of Jason Whitlock and his claims that Stephen A. never wrote his own articles when he was a journalist. Sound off in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com. KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.